Hey guys, what's up? I'm Elliot Turner. I'm a freshman at the University of Oregon, and I've started an exercise resale hustle recently that makes me about $200 to $300 an hour, $1,000 a week, and so I'm going to bring you through some of the tips and tricks that I use to make all this money. The first experience I've had with flipping was when my mom wanted to get me a desk after I'd had the same desk for like a long time. She wanted me to get a used one because it's obviously cheaper than a new one, and I was opposed to this because I didn't think a used desk could be all that good. But like a week later, we were looking for a little bit, and we found it like a $500 desk that was like in brand new condition for $50. We ended up getting that one, and that's kind of like what sparked the idea of flipping in my mind. I hadn't like from that point on, I didn't really actively go and look for things to flip because I didn't really have a job at that point. I didn't have a whole lot of money to flip the things like I am now. But that's what sparked the idea. Fast forward 2 years in high school, me and my friends were in environmental science, and I was looking on my phone on the Nextdoor app. It's like a community marketplace. I saw someone was giving away like an exercise machine for free, and it was in decent condition. So that very same day, me and my friends went to the house to pick up the exercise machine right after school. We disassembled it, brought it back home, reassembled it, took some pictures, put it up on Craigslist, and like a week later, we made it $280. During that summer, we would flip things here and there, but it was definitely not our full-time job. We still had all of our jobs individually, and we were probably making like $150 a week flipping on top of what we were already making from our jobs, which isn't bad, and we had a ton of fun doing it, so it was a great side hustle. I loved it. And then college came around. We obviously couldn't flip anything then because we were in college. We had no place to store it. We were busy with college. When the quarantine came around, you'd imagine that I would hop right on the side hustle again, and I did. But since I was also like in my landscaping job at the time, I wasn't focusing all of my effort on flipping. However, a week or two goes by after I get back from college, and I'm making a good bit of money even on those one to two things that I'm selling. And so I figure, how much money can I make if I focus entirely on flipping? So that's what I did. I stopped working my landscaping job, and instead I flipped like every day. I was bringing in and selling about one thing per day, was my goal and still is my goal. As for how much money I'm making about $200 to $300 an hour, like $1,000 a week on average. A lot of times more than that. Like the most I've made in a week is about $2,800 in profits, not revenue, in profits. And the reason I'm making that much money is because I've actually hired two people at $20 an hour and $25 an hour to drive to the location of the item I'm flipping and bring it to me. That means all that I have to do is find the item that I want to flip and then sell it. And as you'd imagine, that doesn't take a whole lot of effort. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but I'm very transparent both with the buyer and the seller. I'm providing a service to the buyer because they obviously want a piece of exercise equipment, and I'm providing a service to the seller because oftentimes they want to get rid of it and make a little bit of money. Moving on to pricing, there's typically 5 things that I stick to selling now because I know these 5 things will definitely make me money. I can see the post, see the item, and know if it's worth flipping like immediately since I have such a good eye for it and now that I've specialized in these 5 items. The first one being treadmills. Those typically go for low 200s to all the way up to 500. Ellipticals, those are typically a little bit more expensive than exercise bikes. Those usually go for like $350 to $450. Exercise bikes tend to go for about $300. Free weights like dumbbells, barbells, stuff like that, those go for about $3 per pound if they're in good condition, $2 per pound if they're a little bit rusted. The last one being exercise machines. Those ones, there's a lot of money to be had in those. The cheapest one I sold was about $400, and the most expensive one, including delivery, was $845. So there's a lot of money to be had in all of those. The main apps I use are Craigslist, Nextdoor, OfferUp, and a couple others, but those are the main ones. I'd say one of the most important aspects of my business is posting. If you have good posts, that's going to make people want to buy what you're selling infinitely more than if you just had like a 2-sentence description, some crappy photos, and like no description. It helps a ton. I have 5 rules that if you follow will definitely help like you sell your items that you're trying to sell. Rule number 1 being picture. If you have good pictures, it will 100% help you sell whatever you're trying to sell. I remember when I had a worse iPhone and a worse camera, the quality of my pictures was way less, obviously. And when I upgraded to a new phone, right when I started posting with those new pictures, the higher quality pictures, the amount of people that were responding to my posts went up a ton. So pictures definitely help. Number 2, if you have a good piece of equipment, list its features. People are going to want to know what they're buying, and if you tell them the features, that definitely helps them understand more about what they're buying. Number 3 being convenience. Convenience is king. If you have the opportunity to do so, offer delivery, because a lot of the time people aren't buying from you simply for the reason that they can't get your item to their house. So if you can offer that service to them, it'll draw way more people to your account. Number 4 being retail value. If you have a good piece of equipment, list how much it goes for on retail, because people will use that to gauge how much they're willing to pay on your posts. Number 5 being be polite. If someone's buying from you, they're going to want to talk to someone who they feel safe around. And if you're acting like unethical or not being polite to them, they're not going to feel comfortable around you, and they're probably not going to buy from you then. Moving on to a bonus tip. A good deal is a good deal. Always keep your eyes peeled for good offers from people, even if you're looking for a specific set of items like I am. I remember one day on the marketplace, I found this iPhone 11 Pro Max for $200 when it originally retails for $1350, I think. And if I weren't keeping my eyes peeled for good deals in general, I wouldn't have found that, and I wouldn't have been able to get a new phone. So it's just a really useful tip to have, and just always keep your eyes peeled. Now that I've told you some of my strategies for reselling used exercise equipment, let me know if you guys have gone into this business at all. Let me know if you guys have sold anything over quarantine recently. Shout out to the College Hustle for having me on, and thanks for watching, guys.